6:01, Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. You're calling the Board of Health meeting to order. Is anyone else recording this besides LakeCAM? I see no one. First on the agenda is 311 Pond Lane. Meet with Foresight Engineering to discuss requested local upgrades. Thank you.
Evening, Darren McHale from Foresight Engineering. As you can see, we got a tight site on the pond. Upgrading a cesspool, so no matter what we do, it's an improvement. Putting the tanks basically right where the existing system is, just outside the 50-foot setback from the pond. The system is outside the 100-foot. We are proposing a fast system. I'm proposing that for my last variance for the groundwater variance, which normally isn't granted when you're within 200 feet of the pond. But we are on a steep slope, so literally that variance is for probably 10% of the system, and the rest of the system will meet the groundwater setback as the slope drops away. At the D-box end, we'll almost have 5 to 6 feet above water table. It's just a tight site. We're tucking in the corner. We've got 3 walls, just like the system next to us. With the groundwater variance, it blends right into the road. It won't be higher. It won't trap any water there. Everything will still flow naturally. And he's proposing an addition with no additional bedrooms, sunroom and a garage on the first floor, and expanded master suite on the second floor. That's it. Pretty standard for down in that area. Tight soils, high water table.
My concerns were the same as I think what Ed was, and Ed, you want to talk a little bit about it first there?
Yeah, I mean, the fast system is it's great in that area. You get the 50% reduction, that's great too. But we're just not allowed to do the 2 foot. It clearly says we're just not allowed to do it. You know, and he is right that it is, you know, will only be a small portion of the system. But you know, like I said, it's just, DEP clearly says 2 feet.
It would be a DEP variance, so we would have had to apply to DEP for a variance, and we don't do that anymore, so I have to ask you guys. So I'm obviously just asking for it because it keeps the walls at a decent height, especially with the slope. As you can see on the downhill side, we're almost near a 4-foot wall there. So picking this thing up makes me almost have to tier that wall now, instead of just having a single wall. And the system that's there has been in the water table for 40, 50 years within 100 feet of the pond. So I don't think we're doing the pond any disservice. I don't think you're setting a precedent. It's a slope system. You can clearly state that. We can do a deed restriction, however you want to word it. It can be noted on the deed. I don't think the system's going to prematurely fail because we're only 2 feet from the water table for 10 feet of the system, and we've got plenty of sand there.
Was there any thought to just going parallel to the contours?
I can't get the driveway in, that's the problem. There's just no way. I was just thinking. Yeah, no matter what I do, I need that sort of system, just like the one next door.
But I mean, if you just made it shorter and fatter rather than long and thin.
Yeah, that was one of my theories.
That's right.
15 feet wide, to go 20 feet wide, will that give you enough square footage? And
I would have to cut down all the trees on the other side of the driveway and relocate the driveway. And it sounds great, yeah, just turn it and make it work, but it doesn't. It doesn't fit. Even if I turn it 90 degrees and stick it up by the road, it still cuts into the existing driveway no matter how I try and shape. I've already taken the 50%. I don't want to eliminate the overdig because we already took the 50%. We know it's a 3-bedroom home, so I'd like to at least have that as a safety precaution with the extra sand. But I understand your opinion, and I'm just asking, and you don't have to grant it.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ed on, I hate that 2 feet variance. I'm not a fan of it, even with the treatment. And then you were real close. I mean, you did a sieve because of the water table.
Yeah, it was right.
You call models at 48, but you call the A and B layer down to 40.
Yep.
And mainly, most of the time out there, just below the B layer is where the water runs.
Yep.
So you're already 8 inches.
Perfectly the way they called it right next door. It was just into that.
So you're already into that hard pan stuff.
Yep. There's just a little bit of transition. It's not truly hard the first foot. It's pretty much the bucket goes.
That's why the models were a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit lower. So not quite at the B layer interface, but just enough below it that you can tell that's a C layer, and then it gets harder. and it just rides right there. So it's definitely riding through the B layer too, because
Right.
it's getting held up. No, I understand completely, just not a lot of room there. Just trying to save a little money on the walls, because that wall in the bottom there, you can see I'm at contour 65.
Right.
And the top of my wall is 69, so I'm already a 4-foot wall on that end.
Right, and then on my other concern, I mean, you called 48 inches water table from the 69 contour, which is one corner, but I mean, honestly, you should call it from where the contour of the overdig is, because that's where the water's gonna be running into this 2-minute inch sand. And it's not 69 up at that corner, it's
Yeah,
definitely 69 and a half.
Yeah.
So there's already, you're a foot and a half to the water table, really, where that water's coming in at the top of that slope. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's where it's gonna be flowing into that sand.
yep. We got a liner on all sides, so it ain't gonna flow into the sand, it's gonna be pushed down underneath it. I mean,
Do you even wrap that end with a line?
yeah, I wrapped that whole in, I did
To-
the entire perimeter.
To try to get the water to
Yeah,
stop doing that?
just so we don't want the road water either to come in and go into that sand.
Total stop.
Just kind of like we did over on Fuller Shore, we're using that as kind of a barrier, force it down in between the two walls. And that's just a small area right there between those two walls. No, I understand, I'm just, like I said, just trying to save. Now, I don't want to go any higher than 4 feet with the wall, so I'll definitely terrace it.
Yeah, that front, you don't think you can get it up to 66?
I tried the,
With that, oh, because that's
I tried
concrete
to go
driveway.
short, I tried, flow diffusers, I tried different, the height is the main thing, it's like, once you get on that contour, you don't wanna have a gully in between the road and you, so I'm trying to blend everything in, that's why it's kinda shoved up there.
Is that a nice concrete driveway? Is it a beautiful
Yeah.
driveway they're trying to say?
Yeah, it's a nice driveway, so, and like I said, the trees on this side are pretty healthy trees, and we do a lot of clearing over there. Right now, I'm just sticking the dewatering pit in between the trees, because there's a drainage ditch that runs down the back side, kind of. No, I understand, if you don't want to grant it, I completely
It almost
understand.
sounds like it'd be a good candidate for those pipe systems we saw at that conference.
The drip system?
Yeah, just, put it up in
Newer
the big,
advanced one,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're advanced treatment and they're shallower. And
Yeah.
you could go into the woods maybe with it or something, I don't know, we haven't seen a design ahead of them.
Yeah,
But no, you can use the bees on those, so rather than removing the bee, and you get the extra separation because you're keeping the bee, you get a little, more treatment in there.
yeah.
And people put them right in their lawn and it actually keeps the lawn nice and green.
Yeah.
People are actually complaining.
We still have to be.
They gotta
what-
use more
the water
fertilizer on
table's
the
still 4
lawn
feet.
to keep it as green as the rest of the
Doesn't
lawn.
that still have to be 4 feet above the water table?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm out of the ground, so I'm not even in the ground.
Right, but.
So that system doesn't really work. 'Cause-
But it's 4 feet. I mean, you're saying 2 feet, plus you have the stone and everything, the 6 inches.
Right.
This is just a lot narrower of a system. So even if you did have the 4 feet, it would be less. It
Yeah, I
would-
know,
would be lower.
then I would go back to, we all know the pressure duct system's plugged. We all know they get plugged up with sludge, so I don't understand how those drip systems actually, with that tiny pipe, don't get roots in them and strangled and plugged, so I'm like cautious. I haven't seen a lot of premature failures on them, but the stone bed is no, yeah.
We haven't seen one before, so you gotta get it right. Almost
I've
sounds
seen them
like
in the
it'd be a good
field, I remember
candidate
doing
for
inspections
something
on them as
like
part of
that.
the classes, but I just couldn't believe that the trees weren't choking those things out. And it's just kind of odd, because we've seen them break through D-boxes.
I'm hoping to see one in person next week.
Oh, there you go.
It is a good point, because when often they test them and stuff like that, you're in open fields.
Right.
You're not doing it in wooded areas.
Yeah.
So it's
But it just sounds like it might be another alternative that's cheaper.
Yeah.
With advanced treatment and cheap, and it's
Yep.
a little bit cheaper than some of the other stuff, obviously, the bottom.
I mean, obviously without the advanced treatment, I'm up that high anyways, it's the same height, we're still gonna offer the treatment whether you give the variance or not, because this is a family home, he's gonna pass it down to his daughters. We all know that this is where every system in the future is gonna go, is right where this one is, so let's just put in the best system for now, at least get some D-Night in there. And
Yeah, you
What
got
you
any
got?
different feelings on it, or is it?
No, I'm kind of with you guys.
2 feet is,
Well, yeah, like you just said, it's really a foot and a half from the corner.
real, that water's gonna be coming
Yeah.
in at that 69 and a half grade. So even if you raise it to the 3 foot to where he calls it
Yeah.
2.5,
Right.
give or take in the overdig, not
Yep.
half the system, but.
Yep. No, I think any sort of variance that you'd be willing to give is more than I could ask for, so I would appreciate it. We're just trying to do the best thing we can for the property and
And the only other one I did see down on it, which probably should have, is just, I know you called the tank, the water elevation at the tanks at 54.5.
Yep.
But I mean, the pond elevation is 55, flood's 57. And that is probably the elevation of the inlet of the septic tank.
Yeah, it's
But if
very,
you look at the outlet of the pump tank, I mean, you're at 59 and a half, 4 feet from that.
yep, we might be within,
Yeah,
so they're
right
gonna be
at the
rubber booted
outlet.
anyways, yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
just
fine.
one more, it's not on there, but.
Yep. We can
And
just
that's
put in a
the same-
stipulation that they're rubber booted, because that would be the only requirement. That'd be fine.
And more, I think you got H20 monolithic.
Yeah, I had
wall
H20
tank,
anyways,
So
yeah.
they're gonna be rubber booted anyway.
Yeah, so
but-
just, yeah, they're gonna be all rubber booted, but just remember that in your approval.
But I think we should just grant that, because that's a state variance, so
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should grant that one. And then one other question, on the paperwork, Ed, it said, did we type this in our office? It says 4 to 3, but on these pages it said 4 to 2.
Yeah, so
Is that from us, or number 7 on this one? It says 4 to 3. Reduction of separation of leaching field from high groundwater table from 4 feet to 3 feet per installation of
but
IA
you're,
system.
you're asking for more than that, right?
Yeah, I asked for
On
it
here,
too.
it's 2,
Yeah.
but why does,
It might have been a typo.
Yeah, I missed that. I saw, I was looking at the plan that said 2.
but this came from us, or this was?
No, that's from.
No, that's from him.
So this is actually right if we allow it.
I didn't type that.
You didn't type this one? This is four-sided.
Yeah, it's not us.
Oh, that's mine? Okay, that's my letters. There's a typo on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's
Number
right on the
7.
plan.
Yeah, that says 4 to 3 instead of 4
Yeah,
to
it's
2.
right on the plan, then I'm
But the
sorry.
plan has 2, that's why I didn't know if, I think
Yeah, I missed the letter, I just looked at the plan.
Yeah, because we have to put them on the plan. I wait, the letter went to the abutters, obviously. That's what the letter was for. Apologize for that.
so, are we in agreement, we'll keep it at 3 and just add a
I think so.
to groundwater?
Unfortunately, we can't come up with anything better.
No,
Yeah, I'll make it work. I'll have to revise the plan, so it's not a problem. So I can add the variance on there and change it to 3 foot on the plan.
just add rubber booties.
Yep, add the rubber boots, and then I'll figure out the wall situation there in the end.
Are you here for this? No? Okay.
Yeah, you guys are, obviously.
And we have cards from the abutters? Do we have-
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, they all came back.
Nobody's here.
So I notified the association, local water departments, and the abutters.
All right, go ahead and make it then.
I make a motion to approve the septic repair at 311 Pond Lane with the 9 local upgrade requests, and allowing the reduction of separation to leaching field to high groundwater table from 4 feet to 3 feet. He's gonna submit a new plan showing that, and adding, a 10th variance, requesting groundwater elevation to the
Pump
outlet.
change, yeah, mainly the pump tank probably, yeah. I'll make sure
We'll
they're
just do
both
both
rubber
tanks,
booted, yeah.
pump tank and septic tank.
Yep.
Outlet invert elevations to the water table within 12 inches of groundwater.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed. Next on the agenda is 24 Beechwood Ave. Meet with SFG Associates to discuss requested local upgrades.
Hey, are we on camera?
Yes.
I didn't see the door open.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you got a whiteboard, that's close enough.
Good evening, I'm Brad Fitzgerald from SFG Engineering, 28 Main Street in Lakeville. Regarding 24 Beechwood Ave, we've submitted a plan showing a new septic tank and a Presby, an advanced enviroseptic system to reduce the footprint of the system. So we have 5 local upgrades we're requesting. One is to allow that septic tank to be 3 feet from the crawl space instead of 10. To allow the SAS to be 5 feet from the crawl space instead of 20. to require allow the SAS to be 53 feet from the northerly abutting well, Perino at 26 Beechwood Avenue instead of the required 100 feet. To allow the SAS to be 386 feet from a public water supply, Long Pond, instead of the required 400. And to allow for one deep hole instead of the required 2. It's a 50 by 100 lot. Using this system, we're able to keep the system as a gravity-fed system. But because it's so tight, that's why we need the upgrades for the tank to the house and the SAS to the house, to the crawl space. And we only did one hole because of the location of the other system and the wells. It just really wasn't any way to do a second hole. You know, the pond, we're just stuck with where that is. And, but that would be the reasons, you know, and then you got the abutting well there that's 53 feet away from the proposed SAS. We're holding the system 10 feet off the southerly property line, so that's why we're at the 53 feet.
And that neighbor with that well, we didn't get the card back from them?
No, we didn't. We got them back from the two, both New Bedford and Taunton, but we didn't get them from 26 Beechwood. I believe you sent them though, right?
Yeah, you have the white slips.
Right, but not, no, I don't have white slips.
Well, that's the thing with these certified mails, you send them out, it doesn't mean they pick them up, but the white slips show that we sent them out.
Okay.
That's why the certificates of mailing work so much better, because they're cheaper and you just send it off and.
Yeah, I think you emailed the white slips.
Oh, we got these.
Yeah, that, okay. You don't have the
So
actual.
they, I mean, it was sent. I was just making sure whether they were notified, whether they replied or not.
It's not abandoned, it's not like a,
No, there's someone there. I've never seen them, but like I said, you see your car out in front regularly and stuff like
yeah.
that.
I mean, as long as they were notified, it's their choice to reply or not.
Yeah, I would have dropped those off with the filing, because I don't have, maybe I have a copy of it.
Yeah, we have the copy that Chris just showed.
No, but I would have dropped the originals off too.
Okay.
That's, I always do that with the filing. I staple it to a copy of the notification.
I mean, I'd be willing for another variance to move the system further away, give a variance to the property line.
that was one of my notes, I wrote to go 5 feet.
Yeah,
There's no overdigger in Presby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on this one's a tough call too. I mean, if you go by nitrogen load and it's only a 5,000 square foot lot, I mean, we should have 20,000 square feet. We have 5. And we have a well 52 feet from it. All we have in the file for that neighbor's well was an inspection in 1999, November 23rd. The inspector wrote, it appears to be a dug well. So that means it's probably only 30 feet deep. The old ones were dug and made out of stone, and they actually, you can just see water when you look in the old wells. It doesn't even say a drilled well. Again, we don't know. You don't have any idea?
I don't know. Actually, I don't think Steve could find it. We used locations off of abutting plans.
Yeah, there's a couple of sheds in that area. It's very overgrown, so even when we were out doing the park, we were looking over, we couldn't really see it. And it could be below grade too.
That's my only concern with, I mean, you're almost, should it be a treatment system, in my opinion, or not? We've already know how many systems are going in down here. People just keep fixing up houses and moving in, and they're not tying into the water. The nitrogen loading.
This one's tied.
This one is, and I think the other three out of the 4 are. There's only one that isn't, correct?
Yeah, this one, and just so you know, there was a repair done on that one in which the leaching area is 57 feet from their own well.
On 26?
On 26, yes.
And they didn't tie, well, I don't know when the repair was.
They didn't tie in, no.
They didn't tie in.
No, let me see.
But it's available on that lot, correct? I mean, if it's going down Beechwood, it must
Yeah,
be available.
Yeah.
It's available now.
But I mean, we have no authority to make them tie in.
No, but
They should.
But if these people tied in,
Do you have a date on that repayment?
I'm okay with. if
I
these
don't
people
have the
tied
whole
in.
plan.
'Cause if it's available and now it's in front of the other people's houses, it's on them. I mean, you can't just keep restriction stuff, because one person, think about it, a dozen people down there could stop everybody if they decide not to tie in, so at some point,
It's still though, even if everyone ties in, it's still not a good idea to keep dumping nitrogen into them.
oh,
You know, I mean, like, we've talked about this before, in 1977, they said we should get sewer.
Yeah.
And no effort has been made to do that. And with every new flip that comes, it looks great above ground, but below ground is getting worse and worse. And it's just something we have to keep in mind.
So even without the wells, I mean, there's still nitrates a level.
Well, it's going into the pond, and I've talked to Taunton Water, and they get high nitrates in there, and they know, whenever I mention Long Pond, his eyes roll, he's like, oh, Long Pond, that's where all the nitrates are coming from, and they know it's coming from Long Pond. If you look at Taunton where they pump, and you look at New Bedford where they pump in Quiticus, the difference in the nitrate levels is huge, you know, and it's because the Taunton pumps by the fire station, which is, you know, right where Long Pond comes out, and New Bedford pumps down Quiticus, which there's not much development out there. So it's just all the development in Long Pond, and not just Clark Shores, just all of Long Pond is flowing into Assawamsett. And like I said, it gets diluted somewhat when you get into Assawamsett, but that's where it's all coming from. And even the upper Nemanskett, it's an impaired water because of the nitrogens.
Yeah, I can't imagine if we didn't have the wetlands between Long Pond and
Yeah,
Assawamsett, what the number would be.
that's a huge buffer.
oh yeah.
We're very grateful for that.
Yeah, those wetlands are amazing what they can do.
Right, so that was my only opinion, Bob. I think at some point, and even the states, obviously with what their effort they're trying to do through DEP, pushing everybody to treatment. I mean, this is a perfect case why we should.
Yeah, and like DEP is doing
Considering.
all new construction, whereas like, I don't think that's necessary in Lakeville, but when you have a shallow well 52 feet away, I mean, if you're not gonna do it there, where are you gonna do it, you know?
And again, by, you know, the 26 Beechwood should tie into that water, just because their well is within 100 of their own septic. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a given, but.
But and again, I'm not knocking the water company in any way, but there is an economic disincentive to hook in right now.
It's $5,000, right, just to hook in, plus on top of that,
Well, and it's a monthly fee, whereas if you have a well and it's working,
free.
most people have that attitude. But like I said, it's not the right attitude to have if you value your water quality. But that, like I said, I think there's a lot of people in there. Roughly a third of Clark Shores is hooking in, but you know, 2/3 are not. So it's not like it's a few people. It's 2/3.
I guess this one goes back to you again, Chris. What's your opinion?
You want to add on?
No,
And the only other thing, I know it, I think we asked you last time, just that tank is very, I'd like to see the 2-compartment on the drawing. It's just deceiving. Somebody wasn't paying attention. It doesn't say it down bottom. I know it says it up on the notes, 2-compartment tank to be installed. And it says it in your calcs, first compartment, second compartment.
Yeah, and it showed
But it doesn't show
on
the
the plan
center
view.
T, the 2 T's in the middle, and you do show a little line on the diagram too. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, you do.
Okay, I didn't realize I used the wrong boilerplate.
Yeah, I asked last time they came in with that. Some people don't read the notes and they just close attention to them if they should when they install it. They should know in April by now anyway, it's too
Yeah.
far, unless somebody can look it
Some of
down.
these installers, they'll find the cheapest part on the plan. It's be one thing where it's listed 4 other places, and they'll pick that one because it's cheaper and go with that.
Right.
it's whatever you guys think. I mean, I err towards if the people went through the expense of hooking up to the water to try to do the right thing. I get what you're saying with the D-night, so whatever you guys think.
So you're thinking more than just the Presby?
Like,
Well, Presby's done a D-night. You get a reduced field size, it helps with suspended solids, but it doesn't really do much for a D-night.
So it's some treatment, just some extra treatment, but not advanced.
well, it's
enough, right?
it's
Well, not-
considered
not-
advanced
not-
treatment, but it's not D-night.
It's not,
Yeah,
That's why you get this reduction that you're using.
because it's advanced treatment, yeah.
Right.
And with the advance, they wrap a second layer, gives it more.
And we have 6 feet to water table on this one, so, I mean, there's arguments both ways, but I think at some point,
Just know, Ed had mentioned this to me, we discussed it yesterday, and if we go to a D-night, like a microfast, and I go to a pipe and stone field at 50%, I'm only picking up 3 feet more on that well.
but you have a D9 system.
Right, but
But
it's more the
But
level of the nitrogen.
we're also talking,
Well, I think we-
$11,000, $12,000 just
think we would go-
components.
To a property line too, right?
Well, that was my I think at very least, if we do go with this, I think we should go to 5 feet to the property and make it 57 from the well.
Yeah.
Just because there's no overdig on this Presby, correct, anymore?
Correct.
So you don't need to dig the overdig to the property line, so if you're just 5 feet, I think that should be the furthest you can ask for that variance, get it. I know it's
Yeah,
only
I'm-
5 feet, but
I like that one too.
it's 5 feet.
And then-
You are building up a little from runoff to that 100 elevation where it's
Just
99,
just to give it some cover.
so it's gonna be tight in that 5 feet, but
But we can swell that.
It's another good candidate for the newer advanced treatments that are cheaper.
Yeah.
And one other question on this one, what is the, I've never seen that valve outside the tank, out of the 50
this one?
Presbys I put in, yeah, what?
Oh, I didn't ask either, because I didn't want
That
to
might
jump,
be
but I
the,
never saw that before either. I figured if you
That might be the boilerplate.
I figured if you didn't bring it up, it must be something they're doing now.
I think it's for enforcement.
Yeah, you know what it is?
It's gravity, it's 4
It's
inch.
the boilerplate. What happened was, this came from a previous job that
Okay.
needed a modified tight tank. And I forgot to take that off.
Yeah, because that's
So that valve should, I gotta be,
$200 or $300 valve, and a piece of 4 inch pipe for no reason, I was like.
no, I mean, I have to revise it through the 2-compartment tank anyway, so.
That's correct, just plain address, but
Yeah, it's not 3 feet either, it says 3 feet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the length,
It's about 9 feet.
yeah.
What was that?
You say the length is 3 feet of the pipe, or on the
2%.
plan, it just shows about 9 feet.
Okay.
So it's just when you correct the valve thing.
Yeah, because on your print, it's correct, it shows 9 feet. But if we move the field a little further, if you do go for that 5-foot variance, if that's something you want to do to the property line, or 6, to move it 5 feet further, you're gonna have more pipe. It'll go from 9 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
But you have plenty to water table, so.
I mean, they got the separation of groundwater, they got the town water hooked up there, or the association water, so it's whatever you guys want to do. I'm okay with it. You want to go for another 5 feet and give it to them, or if you want to make them do D-night, it's your call.
yeah, I at least want to move it to 5 more feet, yeah. I'm on the fence for the D-night, down. Yes.
Like I say, by going to D-night, you're only picking up, I mean, granted, you pick up D-night, but you're
Oh, pick
only
up
picking up
D-night.
2 or 3 feet off, or more off of that well.
Right. And again, I think this is gonna be, if we did do this, you're gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Since I've been on the board, we haven't been doing this.
No, but it's something we need to start looking at, though.
I think, it's something we should look at, and even if, you don't wanna be specific, pick and choose here or there, maybe if you just go by the square footage of the lot, anything that doesn't need nitrogen loading,
Yeah.
you gotta D-night. That's it, that way anybody knows it's a.
It'd be easier for us too, if you had it
Right,
as a
yeah.
fill.
Well, when we were talking, there's been some
I guess,
short conversations about making some bylaw down that way, we just haven't really.
would be anywhere in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I won't spot zone. I'll never vote to
Not
spot zone an
But
area.
because of situations like this, it was talk
Size of the
more.
lot.
Yeah, but you can do what Derek said too, about the size of the lot.
Size of the lot,
Like
Size of the lot, here is,
This 5,000 square foot lot is allowed a half a bedroom.
Yeah.
And he's getting 2, so you're 4 times what it is. So,
Yeah.
like I said, if you use that criteria, I think it's a pretty good one.
And then anybody going forward would know. It wouldn't be-
Exactly, that's the easiest part, if we know, we can
but we
design
need to
it.
make that a reg. We should,
Yeah, you would
pick
have to
and
have a
choose
public
people.
hearing and post
I don't think we
it,
should
or-
pick and choose now. I think we should just have a hearing and make it a law. Or a regulation, I should say.
Get discussion from
So
it,
I'm in favor of that, I don't want to do it
because like I said,
by,
you'd be the first.
by a
We've
vote
done-
like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've given variance to 3 wells, or 2 wells.
I know one time you always had a kind of rule of thumb that once you get to 3 wells.
Three,
you
it's
want
in
to be
the-
like-
That's automatic in the bylaw.
Yeah, that was before me, so that was a long time ago, but yeah, that was their informal rule. If you hit 3 wells setbacks, then they want a D-night.
be like, yeah. And we've all, of the engineers, we've always known that and run with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been some
you know,
preliminary discussion about
Yeah.
some of these other situations too, so we just haven't gotten official yet.
But a lot of those, like, we had one that came up and it was like that 3 and they're all like 3 were 90 feet away.
Yeah.
And what the engineer did, he just put 2 80 feet away and went 100 on the third. So it wasn't like really helping any, it was actually hurting 2 of the abutters. So it's like,
He did.
for me, it's more
He did,
about
yeah.
distance, you know.
Just to eliminate that,
Yeah.
right, to get around it, and it
Yeah,
was wrong.
it's a lot of money. I mean, you're talking, just in components alone, you're talking 10, 12 grand. Well, components and electrician, let's say.
I mean, it was wrong for the environment, but you gotta give the guy credit.
Just finding.
On this side of the desk, right, I'd be angry, but if I was on that side of the desk, I'd be like, I got a good engineer.
But yeah,
So-
that's why I keep bringing it, twice I brought it up, there's newer alternatives coming out there, you know, there's that drip system, there's that tank with the wood chips and phosphorus in it that's supposed to treat.
Yeah, we discussed that yesterday.
You know, I'm going to a training next Wednesday at the testing facility on the Cape, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna see some of it. And it's, you know, and I had gone to a conference last month, or 2 months ago, and we heard about some of this stuff, and we start thinking about situations like this where it's like, and we know the cost is on the big tickets, and we always think about that when we're looking at these things too, because we don't want to force extra money on some of them. It's not easy, it's a big ticket item as it is, never mind adding advanced treatment.
But it
Let me make a
does
motion. Come
extend
on.
the life of the system, though,
We're
if you
done.
put a fast system on it, so it's not just the added cost, you get a benefit from it. You get a benefit, 1, your neighbor drinks cleaner water quality, and 2, you know, extending the life in the long term.
So I'm in favor of removing it, and I'm involved as far as everything, we don't have that capacity right now to really force
I mean, it was
that, so.
something.
So it's up, we should up to you.
No,
So I'm pushing it up to you now.
well, he was fine the way it is, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we are 6 feet to water, I mean, if we're.
With 6 feet to water, we
And they
take a
have
5
water
more foot
available.
setback, and they hooked up to the water. I give people that are making the effort,
Yeah.
I try to work with people that made the effort.
And we had
to
no
hook up to
problem
the
with
water.
the 5 feet.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed next door eventually ties the water through.
You wanna make a motion on that one?
go ahead. I need reading glasses, I don't bring them like you do.
I can't see anything when I'm sure I wouldn't be reading anything. I make a motion to approve 24 Beechwood Ave. We didn't have a page on this with all the regulations? Not here. No, that's just, anyway. One, two, three, 4 variances?
5.
5 variances?
Well, and make it 6.
So now there'll be
We'll add
Six
the
with that.
5.
So it allows us
Okay.
in 5 feet.
For the 5 variances, I'm going to add a 6th variance to the property line, to the abutter from 11 feet. You want to go to 6 or you want to just say 5? Go to 5 feet to property
Yep.
line, that'll give you a foot
Yeah.
leeway. To the property line variance. And they're going to just draw a new plan showing the tank compartment, 2-compartment tank, and removing the valve on the plan and showing the correct length from tank to D-box and the new elevation of the D-box for the added length.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Brad, when you do if you get the plans for the addition, and you send that over to us, we have to show that it's not a bedroom, it has to be like open and things like that. Thank you.
You know, when they first came out with that drip system, I was at a, the seminar, whatever. I asked the guy straight out, I said, this is New England, how does that work and not freeze?
Exactly.
And not get clogged up? He said, because of the pressure and the way they designed this thing, it blows out everything. And I had John Ashley there with me, and we both kind of looked at each
Yeah.
other and just went, You know?
I guess it is an insulated pipe. It's not your typical like 1-inch pipe. It's got like a.
Still, you get a deep frost, though. I know
These-
what you're saying.
Purple
But it's,
plastic
this is,
tubing?
because I heard similar stuff too, I was worried about, because I'd heard about the drip systems in other states, you allow it and stuff like that, but this was a newer one that we hadn't heard of, because they're showing
Yeah.
good results with it.
And they've been around a while now. I mean, when they first came out, I was concerned about that too.
Yeah, that purple tubing, right?
Yeah, but I think they've kind of worked on it over the years.
I had a Chris, which was buried in my
Time
son.
to get some new, education points by getting that out again. Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys,
Thank you.
have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was already deed restricted to 2-bedroom, correct?
Yeah.
That was a given, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
didn't, okay. All right.
On to Muckies.
Next on the agenda is the Echo Incorporated, DBA Lucky's Liquors, new ownership, tobacco permit, food service, retail, prepackaged food only.
You good with that, right?
Yeah, so it's still Mucky's, the person, it's going from father to son. They're changing the name as well for corporate reasons or whatever, but it's still in the family. The new owner has been working there for years, so it's not, I won't see much of a change otherwise.
I'm good with it. Yeah, so everything looks good on all your
But
stuff.
I can read this one, so I'll make a motion that we approve the tobacco permit in the food service retail prepackaged food only permits and transfer them to Echo Inc. that is doing business as Mucky Liquors.
Second?
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, next on the agenda is reappointments of Assistant Board of Health agents for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
And these one of the ones we can't vote for ourselves?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, so,
Somebody has to make
so
one
whoever's name it
anyway.
is, so I'll make a motion, we appoint Chris Pratt. Oh,
Assistant Board of Health agent,
Assistant Board of Health Agent,
July 1st to June.
July 1st to June 30th, 2024.
Second? Any discussion?
All those in
Those in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Abstain,
had to
Chris?
abstain from that one.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, oh my God, appoint Derek Maxim, Assistant Board of Health Agent, July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. I make a motion to reappoint Robert Palucci to Assistant Board of Health Agent from period July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024.
I'll second that. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Move that one smoothly this time.
Yeah. They'll probably send it back next month and tell us we did it wrong.
We did this one. You guys did that.
All right, next on the agenda is recommend to Board of Selectmen to appoint Edward Cullen as the Inspector of Milk for the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024.
I'll make a motion, we recommend to the selectmen to appoint Ed Cullen, the Inspector of Milk, from July 1, 23 to June 30, 24.
Second?
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, next on the agenda is approve meeting minutes for April 5th, 2023 and April 19th, 2023.
I was absent at the April 19th meeting. The other meeting.
Oh,
yeah. All three of us were here on the 5th. I did read through these on my phone. I didn't see any errors.
I'm good too.
I'll make a motion, we approve the April 5th, 2023 meeting minutes as typed.
Second?
More discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll make a motion, we approve the Board of Health meeting minutes dated April 19th, 2023 as typed.
I'll second that.
All those, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain, I was not there.
All right. Next discussion, next on the agenda is discuss recent Board of Health pending items. Is that right, Agent? Ed?
Yeah, I think I had sent you guys, a thing just to quickly discuss, our rights for noise regulations. There was somewhat of an issue whether we would be issuing them for private parties, but I think, talking to, some of the, longtime staff and town residents, they said the regulation was mainly used for construction purposes, and that you guys would have the right not to, approve it if it was a private party. But you could do it for a private party, but it would cause some problems and we would be unable to enforce it if it was a late night party.
Well, in there is music and all that. That wouldn't be for construction, so that must have been for parties.
Right, so it's a waiver, but it's for anything. It's
Yeah.
for the music, it's for the construction, it's for anything. But the waiver is for everything, but it's never really been used, for the music, so.
I think it even has it in there, mowing your lawn past 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people
Depending on the
mowing their lawn.
decibel of your mower and stuff, so.
Yeah,
So obviously,
it's hard to say that a party is public health reason for the noise, but I think the police have a better way of doing it because it's disturbing the peace. They have their own
Yeah.
ways of handling it more efficiently and effectively, I think, than we would.
Yeah.
any other, what was on here? So I guess, I'll just bring up under that, I mean, at some point, if we want to discuss more of the, treatment systems for nitrogen loading on D-nights, I don't know whether we should reach out to town council or have you research into it more, Ed, or,
We can make any regs we want.
right, I just want to make sure they're,
There are a number of other towns that have them.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think ours are more specific with what the examples you guys gave about size of lot. I think that would be,
think
more
size-
apt for Lakeville, because that's where we have the problems. It's small lots and
that
that
would
way.
be for
you
size of
wouldn't-
lot
Yeah,
and a well within 100 feet.
correct.
I think they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, if you got a small lot and everybody's tied into town water, I guess your argument, maybe you still want it,
Yeah.
but do you want to make?
Well, I think it's always at your discretion anyway, so even if the reg
You can ask for a
says,
variance, it's a local reg.
that you guys could always, grant a waiver to that, if it was that situation where everyone was on water. You know.
All right.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
first we should set it up just as a meeting, as a discussion item.
Yeah.
And, because then you gotta go through the whole process if we're gonna have a hearing. If we all agree that we should do something, then we have to have public hearings and in the newspaper. But the first step would be to just put it on an agenda and,
Yeah, and see if anybody shows
yeah,
up.
and just discuss it and see what people
Well, I'll
think.
get more information on that stuff next week and you
Yeah,
guys can
because-
share that with you guys too and see where the wood chip thing's in a pilot program. I don't know how close it is to approval.
It's in provisional now.
Oh,
So,
provisional
yeah,
now,
so
okay.
they're doing, and actually I contacted them and they said they would have, if we wanted to do like someone in Lakeville wanted to use that, they could use that and get the provisional approval for it. There are more requirements for provisional approval, as in more testing requirements than like a general approval, so you would have to, you know.
Is that something
Does
we
the
post
state
on
offer any incentive to do that?
our website?
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
Would we post
What
something
if it
like that on
doesn't
the
work? Now you gotta
website?
pay to do it all over again?
Do you
About whether it's available or not?
know that if somebody, if some engineer or somebody wanted to use it, it's now, you can grant, the state will grant a special?
Yeah, I mean,
don't know that.
I think any engineer can use a provisional approval, something that has provisional approval. I mean, they have to contact them, because I think you're allowed so many, but when I last contacted them, they still had some available, so.
Well, so, I mean, the wood chip and the phosphorus thing, it works. It's just a matter of they want to see how well.
I mean, that's part of the approval, they want to see how well, so, and it's pretty much guaranteed it's gonna get the remedial approval and probably general approval as well, but it's just, they gotta go through, they need the testing data before they can actually give that approval, so that, but the more that you get, the quicker it goes, so it's not like a timeline, it's more how many are in use.
Okay. I'm good, that was all I
All
had.
right.
COVID?
So let's put that on sometime next month. See what the agendas look like. If we have a light meeting, put it on that meeting for us to discuss it.
Oh, I thought this was gonna end up being a light meeting.
You wouldn't let the second one go. You kept talking for like 40 minutes.
Hey, 40 minutes. We've only been here for 45. What are you talking about?
I think the next one is just one item,
Okay.
so maybe I'll try to get on for that one.
And it's just, like you said, it's just for a local.
Just for discussion.
Yeah.
Where it's posted.
I'll try to get, Chris is gonna get some information, I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
get more
and see if we
information.
found any other towns with some similar stuff.
Yeah, that do it. That, I don't wanna be,
Rather than just like all new construction and everything, because like I said, I think we have kind of a special situation here, so
Yeah.
try to tailor it to that.
Oh, yeah. That's freaking tank 50 feet of water. Those, every time I see those, ugh. All right, anyway.
You guys good? COVID? Motion? Oh. Any COVID stuff?
No one's really reporting COVID now, but hospitalizations, they're quite a bit lower. I think there were like 150 in all of Massachusetts that people hospitalized COVID. Whereas compared to like in the winter, it was over 1,000. So the numbers are a lot lower now for the hospitalization. And like I said, no one's really reporting it, so we really don't get that data. People are still getting it. It's just, our main concern is hospitalization. Hospitals are having problems right now, but it's really not COVID. It's short-staffed, it's Brockton Hospital's out of commission, a lot of behavioral health issues as well.
And it's all the colds that nobody got for the last 3 years because they were wearing masks and stayed in the house. I got bronchitis last week. First time I've been sick in 3.5 years.
a question on that one now, seeing they've pretty much ended everything with COVID, is it something we should take off our agenda, or do we wanna still keep it every
I haven't
one
figured
or?
Oh, we can just talk about it as a other business if some big outbreak came
Yeah,
up.
I mean, it's not even,
We still have test kits and stuff, right? If people need test kits?
no, test kits expired.
Oh, okay.
everything's gone now.
They
We
expired or they
have
gone?
them, but they expired.
Oh, did we get more from the state before they ended it like we tried to?
No, they weren't offering them, no, really.
So I mean, like you said, in a new business, we could always bring up
Yeah, so I
something,
think-
if we have COVID or
If all of a
something
sudden
can take
the
it off.
outbreak happens, we can.
So we can take it off the agenda itself and just bring it up if
Yeah,
we need to.
if you need to.
Okay, so we'll take it off, and then if we have to, for a specific incident, we'll put it back.
All right, you guys good?
Yep,
Motion to adjourn.
second?
All those in favor?
Aye.